Hi everyone, this is Skylar Buss, Client Service Associate at Zhang Financial. Today I sit down with Lynn to discuss a topic that has been brought up by current and prospective clients, fiduciary standards. Here's that conversation. Lynn, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Skylar.
We have more and more of our clients asking us about our fiduciary standards, even our prospective clients and now our listeners. Can you explain to us how we are held to those standards, as well as the difference between fiduciary standards and the Reg BI standards?
Thank you, Skylar. Excellent question. First, Zhang Financial is held to the fiduciary standard. Zhang Financial is a RA, registered investment advisor with the SEC. And actually, all the RAs registered with the SEC have to be held to the fiduciary standard as they're subject to the Advisor Act of 1940. I know there's a lot of numbers I'm throwing out there. So the bottom line is all the registered investment advisors have always been held to the fiduciary standard. What does that mean? That means that we have to act in the client's best interest at all times and put client's interest ahead of ours. So, and I think part of the reason that the fiduciary becomes such a hot word is because of Reg BI, regulation best interest. That was came into effect as of June 30, 2020, very new, hot from the press. So let me give you a little bit of history of the Reg BI. So there are a lot of people can call themselves financial advisors. You know, the word is so loosely used. Registered investment advisors, RAs, and then we have registered representatives from brokerage firms. And then we also have like insurance agents. They all call themselves financial advisors. So prior to Reg BI, as I said, registered investment advisors are held to the fiduciary standard. But registered representatives, the advisors who make commissions from selling products from the brokerage house, are not held to the fiduciary standard. Instead, they are held to a different standard called the suitability standard. Means as long as this product they can reasonably think it suits you, then they're okay with it. It does not have to be in your best interest as long as it suits you. So it fits on you. Let's take what we view as a clothing, right? You might not look good in it, but it fits you. So, so therefore it is okay. So as you can tell that the standard is a bit too low. I mean the suitability standard. So the SEC on June 30, 2020, they issued the regulation best interest meant to elevate the suitability standard for the registered representatives of brokerage houses. So now you have to be very careful when you read the specific language, as with any regulations or laws. So let me read it so that I don't miss any important words. It basically said important that the broker dealers have to act in the best interest of a retail customer when making a recommendation of any securities transaction or investment strategy involving securities to a retail customer. And such broker dealer may not put financial interest ahead of the interest of a retail customer when making recommendations. Now, if you listen to when I read it and you only catch the word best interest, you'll say, oh, great. Now all the advisors have to act in my best interest. I'm totally okay. No, listen to the underlining part when I put emphasis on. One is when making a recommendation. Two is any security transaction or investment strategy involving securities. and then when making recommendations. So if the recommendation is not involving any security or transactions involving security, then the best interest rule does not apply. That's one. Two, if it is not at the time of transaction, not at the time of making recommendations, the best interest rule does not apply. See the tricky part? But as a fiduciary, like registered investment advisors like Zhang Financial, we have to be held to act in client's best interest at all times throughout the relationships of our relationship with the clients. At all times, we have to act in client's best interest and put their interest ahead of ours. Regardless, we are making a recommendation for security transaction, regardless of we are making recommendation for tax strategy or even for their insurance needs. We have to put their interest first and act in their best interest. That's a difference. There's no limitation when it comes to fiduciary standards for registered investment advisors.
So for a client and even a listener, is that something that they wouldn't need to do their due diligence or research on to know that you are a trustworthy fiduciary who has their best interest in mind?
Yes, absolutely. So even you say, so when you hear say, oh, well, if all the registered investment advisors are held to the fiduciary standard, so therefore I don't need to do any research on my own so that I can walk into the meeting thinking, oh, they're going to put my interest first. Well, that would be very unfortunate because there are lots of conflicts of interests in the financial service industry, even with registered investment advisors. You need to read and SEC do want to let you know. So one of the big duty imposed into the firms is the duty of disclosure. So you can go to there are a lot of places you should go. I would not recommend only go to the website because you're not going to see, oh, we have so many conflicts of interest with yours.
Yeah, no one's going to just up and say that.
No one's going to up for say that. And the two, oh, we have been sanctioned and penalized by the regulatory bodies so many times. You would never see any of that on the website, on any advisory firm's website. So what you should do is you need to go into the SEC's website and you need to go into the broker check, called the broker check, and check your advisor's regulatory histories and read. And unfortunately, because it involves your financial future, so every client do need to spend time and read through the firm's customer relationship summary and also in detail Form ADV. I would suggest if anyone's interested, should go to our website, zhangfinancial.com, and watch my video about guide you through how to read the Form ADV and what to look for in a Form ADV. Because again, yes, advisors should act in your best interest. However, if there are so many conflicts of interest there, then how do you know, right? They will act in your best interest because, again, I would say they have, law firms have those expensive proprietary products and we received kickbacks from third-party products. And then if they always act in your best interest, who would they sell those products to, right? But at Zhang Financial, you can see in our customer relationship summary disclosure that we don't have any of conflicts of interest from proprietary products. We don't have proprietary products, or we don't receive commissions, and we don't receive soft dollars, kickbacks from product companies. So that effectively eliminates any conflicts of interest from those sources. So if you see the name of Zhang Financial, you would see Zhang Financial, a fee-only wealth management firm. So what means fee-only? That means we only takes the fee from managing clients' portfolios. we don't take commissions. We don't take soft dollars or kickbacks from product companies. So when we recommend you, a client, a product, that means we truly believe the only motivation for us to recommending anything to you, make a recommendation, either product or strategy to you, is because we think that is in your best interest, because we have no other motivations. And also there are a lot of firms claim they fee only when they are not truly fee only. So I would say to check, to make sure, you also need to do due diligence to make sure that the advisor is truly fee only. How do you do that? You go to NAPFA, NAPFA.org to check if the advisor's name is on the NAPFA website, because NAPFA do their research, make sure the advisor is fee only before they put on your name on in their organization. Hopefully that helps.
Well, thank you for taking the time today, Lynn, and answering all of those questions. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
That's all for this episode of the Zhang Financial Podcast. If you have any lingering questions for Lynn, Charles, or the Zhang Financial team, whether it be about finance or even what Lynn was wearing today, please email us at podcast@zhanefinancial.com. It's also listed in our show notes. Tune in next time while we will go over the market outlook for the upcoming week. Until then.